I'm Brian Wilson alongside Larry O'Connor.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker.
Yeah, but not in a private club you're not, Steve Miller. Joining us right now, Adam Eidinger. He is the founder of DCMJ. That used to be the DC Cannabis Campaign. Of course, they spearheaded the Initiative 71, which legalized cannabis in certain ways and very narrow ways here in the nation's capital. And thanks for joining us, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
So from DCMJ's perspective, are you concerned that the D.C. Council is now starting to roll back some of their movements toward legalization of pot in Washington?
Absolutely. The vote was 7-6 against us. So, this was a type of vote the mayor had to twist some arms on the D.C. Council. We have been also pressuring the council since last year, saying that a lot of low-income people don't have a place to use marijuana lawfully. Setting up a few places around the city, or even, dozens, would be perfectly reasonable, especially because people are already using cannabis outside the home illegally, and we're just trying to make legal what people are already doing. And, really, we don't want to waste the police time on this. We don't think business owners should be burdened with having to enforce whether someone's smoking a joint or a cigarette. If it's a designated smoking area, it shouldn't matter.
Well, let me ask you about that. You say that low-income people are having a hard time finding a place to smoke marijuana legally. Why is that? I mean, I think the idea, as I understood it, was you can have small amounts of marijuana, but you really should do this in the privacy of your own home.
Right. And the libertarians amongst us said, hey, listen, do it in the privacy of your own home, not bothering anybody. That's fine.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Well, there's a big problem with that because a lot of people have kids at home. They don't want to smoke around. A lot of people a third of the city lives in subsidized housing. And in their federal contract they have, it says they won't even possess marijuana in the home. I know people who have cancer, who have fibromyalgia and AIDS that are low income and live in subsidized housing, and they have medical cards from the city, but they can't use the medicine in their home. That's like saying you can't use, your other life-saving medicines in your home. It's nuts. So people do need a place outside the home. And, it's a free country. We have the right to assemble. The Constitution enshrines that. This idea that we can't gather in a private venue that we rent out and to use cannabis, it's just discriminatory. I call it bud bigotry.
Bud bigotry. Well, what is the battle that's going on in the council? You say the mayor's twisting arms. Why do you think the mayor doesn't want this?
She is doing the bidding of Congress. She is trying to look like I'm in charge of the city, not the people. I will decide how marijuana policy is set. But the fact is, she has resisted marijuana reforms all along, and the entire council did. We had to put it on the ballot to get the law changed. Now the law has been changed. It's true. People like Chairman Mendelson have done nothing but try to roll back rights. Under the decrim law, it was a ticket if you were if you were stopped smoking in public. Now it's an arrestable offense. We shouldn't be taking police off the streets for someone smoking a joint outside of a nightclub at 1 a.m. What we should be doing is giving the person a ticket and a warning, and that person won't be discouraged the next time from doing it. But, not having public places indoor or outdoor in a private setting, not having those places is resulting in more marijuana use on the streets because, people go out and walk the dog and smoke a joint. People go out from a nightclub and, at midnight and around the corner smoke a joint and come back. It ends up encouraging more public pot smoking by not having a place to go.
Listen, when you say, this is a free country, we have the right to assemble, and we should be able to organize with people that we want to hang out with in a private club and smoke pot, I hear that message. And, I don't necessarily disagree with it. The libertarian in me says, sure, that's fine. When you talk to me about how these are people suffering from AIDS and cancer who have children at home and they can't find a place for their medical use of marijuana, can we be real about this, Adam? I mean, come on. I walk around DuPont Circle. I walk around Farragut Square. I walk around the Verizon Center. The people I see walking down the street smoking a pot illegally, and by the way, I don't want them doing it walking down the street. The people who are doing that are not AIDS and cancer sufferers who have little children at home. Can we just be real about this argument?
In Ward 7-8, this is actually the situation. There were 128 arrests since legalization came into effect for public use. 108 of those arrests were African Americans.
And how many of them were suffering from cancer and AIDS and had children at home?
Honestly, there were people who testified before Kenny McDuffie's Judiciary Committee last year with AIDS, cancer, fibromyalgia, who live in public housing. So everything I just said to you, that was actually spoken to the council.
And I'm sure that there are exceptions like that, but that's not what this really is about.
No, we're not trying to set up a situation where you can go and buy cannabis, all right? We're trying to just have a place to use cannabis outside the home. It's called BYOC, bring your own cannabis. The idea that you can bring your own cigarettes anywhere in the city. You can smoke a cigarette anywhere in the city.
Well, not anywhere.
Cigarettes kill people. Well, you can smoke it outdoors anywhere.
Yeah. Okay, can I ask, Adam, and again,
why is there a double standard between cigarette smokers and marijuana users when cigarettes are killing 100,000 people a year and marijuana is not killing anybody?
I just want to reiterate here, because I am sympathetic to you, but I can feel Brian Wilson burning next to me because of the incrementalism thing. You just said you don't want to set up a shop where people will be selling pot. Really,
well,
Adam?
I would in the long
exactly.
term,
So you do
until Congress gets out of the way.
But so it's incrementalism. It's one little step at a time.
It started out we were going to do medical marijuana, and now we're going to
privacy of your own home.
Yeah, privacy of your own home, and now we want to do it in public clubs. And the next thing is we want to have we're turning it into the Netherlands
Amsterdam.
here.
Yeah,
for God's sake.
Country. I'm sorry. This alcohol country is out of control. We have alcoholism killing people. We have people killing people on the road. If you want to have a double standard for alcohol and marijuana, fine. But let's have the same standard, is what I'm saying.
Listen,
let's not treat marijuana like it's worse, because it's not.
So why not make that case? This is what bothers me, Adam, is that hold on. Right. Adam, you just said to us, we're not asking to set up shops so you can sell pot in D.C. Okay, maybe not today you're not, but you just admitted that ultimately you do want that. So why don't you put all your cards on the table?
That's what the initiative was about. That's what the initiative claims we wanted to do. But we couldn't do it because Congress has interfered. And now the City Council is giving away rights we've already gained by taking away the right to social use. We have the right to
or maybe it's this, Adam, and let me just throw this out there. Maybe it is we've started down the path a little bit, and we don't like what we're seeing.
That's not what the polling shows. The polling since the initiative went into effect shows that support is 59%, 1% off.
Political members of the council react to public pressure. I mean, you're pressuring on one side. Do you think they're not hearing it on the other side?
They're not getting pressure from the other side. Who is the other side? There is no organized group in the city working against us. The only other side here is Andy Harris, the Republicans in Congress that are trying to beat D.C. down and treat us like a little colony that can't rule itself. When in fact, we balanced our budget for 17 years in a row. We have made major reforms here. We're the progressive city, not Congress. And this dispute between Congress and D.C. is because we're not a state. We would have solved this issue a long time ago if it wasn't for Congress interfering.
Is Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton on your side on this?
She doesn't intervene in local politics. This is considered a local issue.
Well, no, but you just raised Andy Harris and Republicans in Congress.
She's definitely opposed to Andy Harris's rider, which is preventing us from writing new marijuana laws.
But is she in support of this initiative for private marijuana clubs in the district?
I honestly have never talked to her about it. So she doesn't decide the issue.
Find out before you say this is all about Republicans in Congress, because I believe
they're blocking D.C. right now. It was a Republican budget.
And
that had
Democrat Eleanor Holmes Norton is not objecting to it either.
No, she is. She sent out multiple press releases objecting to the riders over on D.C. on marijuana.
I'm talking about with regard to the private clubs.
Look, the private club or the social use privately was already legal back in February of 2015. Okay, it's been taken away from us through an emergency bill that will expire. If we let it expire, we get the right back. Right, but we're saying is don't let it expire until you put regs in place. The mayor is saying, I can't put regs in place because of Congress, but that's not true. We can use reserve funds, and the Budget Autonomy Act is law, and so we can use our own tax dollars to regulate this.
Adam, we got to
leave it there. We let you
have your say, and
we love having you on. We really do. And I'm looking forward to you running for mayor.